But 2 weeks ago, there was a bill that came through that was going to fund the National Children's Museum here in Washington, D.C. It is going to fund them $10 million for 10 years, and it pays for their rent, which is in the Ronald Reagan building. Now, the National Children's Museum...
That seems kind of innocuous. The National Children's Museum
sounds
wonderful. A museum for children.
It's STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
Wow.
This is what we want our children to learn.
Perfect.
We want ours to be the...
Sounds like a good thing.
Oh, they should be the brightest and the most educated in the world, right? Well, the National Children's Museum is funded by some people you may know, Bill and Melinda Gates. They're also funded by Nickelodeon, that loves to teach your children that they should be transgender.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm not feeling so good.
No, you should start feeling kind of sick to your stomach.
Right.
Well, because we know what these big donors are all about. Well, let me tell you the brilliance of my staff, and I'm very grateful to them. As we were working through, and we worked through all the bills, ladies and gentlemen, we're probably one of the few offices on the Hill that actually look and read through the bills. One of my staff members, and I'm praising him greatly for this, he found on their website, National Children's Museum website, a massive list of critical race theory garbage, 1619 project, all kinds of information for parents and children to read about how if you were born with your white skin, it makes you inherently racist, and obviously you're just a racist for life because you're white.
Yeah, you're a terrible person.
You're a terrible person. And so I had a big problem with this because I saw some of my Republican colleagues' names on the bill, so I called them directly. And I said, I'm going to inform you about a little problem I have with your name being on this bill, and I want us to wage an effort to vote against this thing. We need to stop it. And I let him know that the critical race theory is not just a little bit on this National Children's Museum website. It's all over it. And that our Republican voters do not want to be funding critical race theory in the National Children's Museum in Washington, D.C. in the Ronald Reagan building. And I think Ronald Reagan would roll over in his grave on this one. So he took me very seriously because he knows that when I'm going to get fired up about something, I will not be quiet about it. And so got off the phone with me, and then I got a phone call immediately from the director of the National Children's Museum. Her name is Crystal, where Crystal was backpedaling and apologizing. Oh, Mrs. Greene, we had no idea that that was on our website. We don't know how that ended up there. We are taking it all down immediately. We just desperately need our money for our rent because we have to be able to teach children science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And so I went into a very direct conversation with her about how educating children on racism and training them to be racist is not science, it is not technology, engineering, arts, or math, that it's being racist themselves, and that none of our tax dollars are going to pay for it ever. And I told her that I will be watching very carefully her museum and her website to make sure that they do not do that. And I also...
Hang on. They took it all down immediately when caught. Immediately, when the rats are caught, panic attack.
Panic attack.
Because it's about money.
It's about money.
It's always about money.
Oh, it's about money. And then she also said how hard it was for their museum, who lives off of donations, by the way, and your tax dollars, how hard it was for them through COVID-19 to keep their employees and so forth. And I assured her it was much harder for private businesses and small businesses and people to keep their jobs during COVID-19 than a children's museum. But that's a whole nother point. But this is the left. This is their mindset. They want to live off of government funding, which is your money that you earn and you work hard for, and they don't get to just live off of your money and do the wrong thing like teach children critical race theory. So I've got some information for you today. Here's what I want you to do. They are putting these links back up on their website.
Oh, hang on for a second. The bill passed and they're going to get their cash?
I voted no.
Okay, you voted
no.
Did the person that you talked to about taking the name off, did they take the name off?
They didn't take their name off, but they went into panic mode as well, and we've got them to take it off. They won't put it back on there. But listen, I said, here's the deal. And I tell all of my Republican colleagues this, I operate in contracts, and a bill is a contract.
Yep.
And if that language is not in the contract, then guess what? It does not exist. And the language was not in the bill saying that the National Children's Museum could never, ever, ever use anything or put anything with critical race theory in their museum or on their website or in their resources. That didn't happen. That was my request. It did not happen, so I voted no. I tweeted about it 2 weeks ago. I wanted people to know about it because I want you all to know, because, again, you're the kingmaker. You people at home are the ones that fix things and hold government accountable, and that stops this garbage. And that's why I'm here, Steve, because I have a homework project for all of you.
Okay, perfect.
And so,
what is it?
Well, we're going to try.
Let me just ask a second. They're starting to put these links back up a couple at a time.
Yeah, here.
Is that in your face?
It's on their website. So how do you get
everybody
it?
Go
you
to
got to sneak it back in,
everybody
right?
Go
so
to
that's what
but
they're doing.
This gets to the heart of the whole thing. The whole system's a scam.
They'll
tell you whatever they want to tell you at the time.
Just to get
they're going
the
to
money.
do they're going to do exactly what they're going to do with your dollars.
With your dollars, because you're not paying attention. And so we're going to fix that. We are paying attention now. Not only are we starting to pay attention, we're going to be laser focused. And so I told Steve this morning, I have a new task, I have a new job, I have a new goal. I'm going to train all of you to be activists, because when you become activists, you are going to hold your government accountable on every single level, and you're going to stop the insanity, and that's how we save the country. It's not about me. It's not about President Trump. It's not about any of us. It's about you, and you can stop it all, and I believe in you. I believe in the people. I believe in the power that you have, and that's why I'm going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to tell you right now. Here's the things they put back on. Talking about race, the impact of racism on child and adolescents' health. That's from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Talking to children about racial bias. Hello, kids are not racist, everyone. We know that. And this is the best country in the world where everyone is equal. So we need to stop the insanity. And this doesn't have anything to do with science, technology, engineering, arts, or math. So we need to stop.
So hold on, we got a minute in the segment. What do you need people to do?
I got phone numbers.
Okay. Oh, baby. She's got the receipts.
Yep, here it comes. National Children's Museum, the main line, 202-844-2486. Again, 202-844-2486. And I'm going to have another phone number for you. Okay. And this one's extremely important as well. I want you to use both. Crystal, the director of the National Children's Museum, needs to hear from you at home and needs to understand how important it is to you, moms and dads, that she does not ever allow critical race theory teaching in her museum, and their resources are on their website. And here's her cell phone number. 312. Again, 312. Listen, Steve Bannon has trained you all well. War Room Patriots.
These guys
do
train
your
me.
job. Do your job.
Okay.
Stop critical race theory.
Okay, Posse, you have a way to show your support for the Children's Museum to actually be a children's museum and teach the kids STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Let your voice be heard.
But don't let them be racist.
Quick commercial break.
Don't
Back
let
with
them be critical race theory racist.
MTG in a second. The reason I love doing the show is this audience. This is why the glorious MTG comes over here once every couple of weeks and sits in, Mike Lindell people, because they understand this posse. You took down, you crashed the Children's Museum website. National Children's Museum website is now officially crashed because of you guys are on the trigger. I love it. Make sure, and by the way, you're doing it to be supportive. You're doing it to be supportive, so call 202-844-2486.
We want a good National Children's Museum.
And you've got Crystal. Let Crystal know, hey, you support the STEAM program, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. It's in the Reagan building. You're all Reagan fans. But, Crystal, come on. Not the critical race theory doesn't work. It's obscene to put it up there. And in addition, after you got the money, you can't be putting the stuff back up. And let her know, Crystal, we got our eye on the Children's Museum, right? We're going to be keeping on the website. Let's keep it crashed.
We're paying the rent.
And because crash means you're taxpayers. You're trying to get involved. You're trying to see what's going on. You're trying to keep an eye on the kids. By the way, make sure you go to talk about another